Hello and welcome to Programming Horizons. In this video, we are going to visualize our expense data using Python Pandas and Matplotlib libraries. So let's open Google Colab Notebook, click on File and create a new notebook in Drive. Let's rename it as Expense Visualization. Next, we upload our expenses.csv file by clicking on this files icon, and here we click the upload button. Locate the expenses.csv file, click open and click OK on this warning, and here you can see our expenses.csv file is uploaded. If I double click it, then here are the 4 column names and all the entries. We are seeing 10 entries right now. So let's close it all. And now let's dive into coding. We will start by importing the required libraries. Here we required pandas to deal with the tabular data, so we import pandas as PD. Next, we also require matplotlib libraries pyplot module as PLT, and this module is required to create charts and visualizations. Alright, let's run the cell. Next, we will load the dataset into a data frame by creating a data frame variable called df, and here we will call pd.readcsv method and pass here our expenses.csv file path. So click here on the 3 dots, copy path and paste it inside these quotation marks. In the next line, I am going to display the top 5 rows of this data set. So here are the top 5 rows. As you can see, here are the index values, column names and data entries. Moving ahead, I also want to display the column names. So I'll go with df.columns, run the cell, and the column names of this data set are displayed here. Now we will start visualizing our expense data using Matplotlib. So first of all, let's see where most of our money is going. So I am going to create a variable to see category wise expenses, and I'll call this variable as category underscore expenses equal to df.groupby, and then pass here the column name category, and I'm going to group all the expenses by category. Make sure that you pass the column names correctly, and outside this bracket we will call the sum function. So basically we are grouping together the expenses category wise, and I will run the cell. Now based on this variable we are going to create our bar chart. So here I type category underscore expenses dot plot, mention the kind of plot you are creating. I am creating a bar chart here. Next we will add a title, so we will call plt.title. We will type the title as expenses by category. Then we will add the X label as category and Y label as expense in rupees, and in the end we will call the show function. Let's run the cell, and as you can see our bar chart is created now. So here is the title of the chart, here is our Y label, at the bottom we have X label category, and you can see all the categories from the expenses.csv file. So from here we can conclude that most of our expenses are going in food category, and then on bills, next on clothes, then on travel, and then there are other expenses. And this is powerful. Instead of guessing, you can clearly see which category dominates your spending. Okay everyone, now let's visualize the expense distribution as percentages using a pie chart. So here I will create a pie chart by calling category underscore expenses dot plot kind equal to pi and then we will pass auto PCT property. This property is used to display percentages on each of the slices of the pie chart, and we want to display all the percentages up to 1 decimal place. So here we have percent 1.1 F, and this is a way to format each of the percentages up to 1 decimal place. Next we add a title, expense distribution by percentages, and then we will add a Y label only as empty quotation marks, and then we will call the show function. Alright, let's run the cell, and on your screens you can see a beautiful colorful pie chart displaying expense distribution by percentages. You can see 43.5% of our total spendings are going in food category, and the next highest category is bills, then clothes having a share of 17.1%, travel is taking up 11.8%, and other charges take up about 3.6%. Now let's analyze how our spending changes over time. So we are now going to group our expenses by month, and for that I am going to create a variable called monthly expenses equal to df.groupby. Pass here the column name month. Make sure if the column name starts with a capital letter, you pass here exactly the same column name, otherwise it may result in an error. Then we will pass expenses column and then call the sum function. So this line will group together expenses by month and store them in monthly expenses variable. So let's run the cell. Next we are going to create a line graph or line chart, as you may call it. So I am going to call monthly expenses dot plot kind equal to line, and here I also pass marker equal to O. So I want to show specific points on the line graph, and for that we have marker. Then we set the title as monthly expenses, and then X label is month, Y label is expense in rupees, and then we call the show function. Let's run the cell, and on your screens you can see there is a nice looking line graph created. So on the Y label we have expense in rupees, on the X label we have month and all the months displaying, then the title of the line graph is monthly expenses, and here are the specific points on the line graph, and these are created because of the marker property that we have just set. Alright, there is one issue here. All the months are displaying in alphabetical order instead of the calendar order. So we need to sort this out, and for this I am going to go up here, and here we will set our own month order according to the calendar months. So I am creating here a list of all the months in calendar order. We'll start with Jan, then Feb, March, and so on. Alright, as you can see, my month order list is created with all the months showing here. Let's run the cell. After this, I am going to convert our month column into a categorical data type. So we will type here df month equal to pd dot categorical, and pass here the actual column name, which is month, then pass categories equal to month underscore order, and then set the property ordered equal to true, and this tells Pandas that the order matters to us. Alright, run the cell again. Let's also run this cell and the last one also, and on your screen you can see that the line graph is now modified and all the months are appearing in calendar order instead of alphabetical order. So from this line graph we can conclude that there are certain months which are really high in expenses, particularly as we move towards the end of the year. So this type of graph is really useful when you want to understand how your spending changes over time. And that's it. Today we learned how to load the dataset, analyze expenses, and create multiple visualizations to uncover spending patterns. And this project is an excellent addition to your data analytics portfolio, and it tells you how data analytics transforms raw data into meaningful business insights. If you like this project, then don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and give your feedback, and make sure to subscribe to Programming Horizons for more interesting tutorials like this. Thank you, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, happy coding!